McCoy. Okay, now you
Got
see
it.
the schedule. We'll be going over our homework. And then we will be going into fractions, decimals, percent. How do you go from one form to the other? And we'll do a lot of practice on some problems. And then your homework, of course, will be on the fractions, decimals, and percents. So let's go to new share and bring up our homework. Let's see. I can bring it up from here. New share. Okay, do you see the homework?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word problems practice April 28th.
Mhm.
Okay. Maureen, did you do your homework?
Not really, no. I didn't get the chance to do it because I went to therapy yesterday. Left on early. I left on again this morning, like 8 o'clock. Not going to get back in.
Okay.
Doctor therapy is like it's sending me crazy.
Okay, well, let's do multiply fractions. Remember I said that's one of the easiest operations, right?
Yeah.
Because you multiply numerators, you multiply denominators. You don't have to worry about any conversion, any flipping, okay, any change in signs. You just multiply numerators and denominators. So multiplying 9 over 5 times 4 over 3, 9 is your numerator for the fraction here, and 4 is the numerator here. So let's just copy that. And Maureen, you tell me what you get when you multiply the numerators. So let's just put that here.
I ain't get none of them answers that you got there for sure.
That's why I want you to go through it. Okay, so multiply the numerators. 9 times 4, Maureen,
It's
equals
36
36. So let's put it
over
here.
15.
That's right. So you got it. You multiply the numerators.
Yeah.
9 times 4, 36. Denominators, 5 times 3, and you got 15. And you said none of those answers are there, right?
No.
But what's the next step after you multiply? You got to simplify.
Oh, but you didn't say that.
I didn't have to.
Always.
I didn't have to. If you didn't see the Maureen, if you don't see the answer there, then you must need to simplify. Because I would not give you a multiple choice with nothing as an answer, right?
Oh.
Okay. But remember what we said, the rule is for fractions, whether it's multiplication, division, subtraction, addition, you always simplify. And it may not say simplify, but like you say, none of these answers are there. But an answer there matches 36 over 15. And what is that, Maureen?
36 over 15.
Is equal to what?
Let's see.
If you simplify it, what do you get?
Let's see if I get.
Divide 36 and 15 by the same number.
Okay.
What would that number be? What number goes in the 36 also goes in the 15?
6.
6 doesn't go into 15.
No, 3.
3. 3 into 36 is how much, Maureen? 36 divided by 3.
Okay. 12.
12, that's right. All right. 15 divided by 3.
5.
5. That's your answer.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? That's answer what? What
B.
answer? That's it. Answer B. So when you say none of those answers is what I got, then you've got to say, can I simplify what I got to get one of those answers? And of course you can, because both 36 and 15 can be divided by 3. 36 over 3 and 15 over 3. Let me just put it here. 36, put the 3 here. Let me just put this here. what I just said. So that's divided by 3. And remember, you divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So then you take the 15 and divide that by 3.
Mhm.
And that's how you get the 12 over 5. Got it, Maureen?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be your answer. Let me just bring that up a little closer. Okay. So your answer is B. Any questions on multiplication of fractions? Straightforward. Multiply the top numbers, which are the numerators, multiply the bottom numbers, which are the denominators, and simplify if necessary. Because sometime after you do that operation, it's already simplified. Okay.
Mhm.
So that was number 1. Okay, now this one says simplify this expression, right? Number 2. So let me just put that on the next screen. Okay, now, Maureen, how would you simplify square root of 1 plus 8 and then add it to 12? What do you get?
Oh, this square. Oh, it's square root. Oh, it's square root.
Yeah, that's a radical.
Uh,
So what's the square root of 1 plus 8?
1 plus 8, 3.
That's right, because 8 and 1 is what? 9.
Yeah.
And the square root of 9, that's a perfect square, and
Yeah.
that's 3. And now 3 plus 12 is what, Maureen?
15.
That's it. That's your answer.
Mhm.
3 plus 12 equal 15. And you put here in the box, let's see, make that bigger. Put in the box 15. That's the answer. Questions? Okay. So with radicals, I gave you, once you add what's under the radical, you get a perfect square. And some of those perfect squares you should know, right, Maureen?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the square root of 36?
6.
6. Very good. What's the square root of 64?
8.
What's the square root of 100?
20.
I don't know.
What's the square root of 100? Chastity, what's the square root of 100?
10.
10. Maureen, why did you say 20? 20 times 20 is 400. Too big. All right.
I know it's square root of 156 too.
What's the square root of 11?
1.
Now,
No, it's square
it's
root.
not
I
a
have
perfect square
11.
root. It's not a perfect square root.
It's not a perfect square root.
You tricked me.
No, I want you to think, Chastity. I remember I was talking perfect squares. I gave you a number that is not a perfect square. All right.
Okay.
Got it? What's the square root of 144?
12.
Now I'm lost.
12.
12?
Yeah. Yeah, from your 12 tables, you know that, right? 12 times 12 is 144. All right. So, and I gave you a list of those. You got the list? I gave you a list of perfect squares. You got the list, right?
I think I do. I have a list.
I
But I don't
sent you a list. I think I sent you up
I
to
think I
maybe
have the.
up
I
to
don't think
maybe
it's that one.
400. No,
No, I don't think it's that one I have. I have the one, the percentage, I think. Percentage.
oh, I have that, but I also have perfect square roots. I sent you
Oh,
that
I
too.
need that one. I don't have that one. Can you please email it to me to then?
Okay, okay,
Thank you.
perfect squares, because I sent that I think a week ago.
Oh, that's why, because I haven't, my email is not working. So that's why.
Okay, perfect squares. Okay, Chastity, I'll send that to you.
Thank you.
Because once you look at that, you'll find that a lot of them you know already.
Okay, it would be easier.
Like, what's the perfect square? What's the square root of 81, Chastity?
9.
9. 9. See, it's something you know already. So when you have a problem with those, you don't have to look them up. You know them already. Okay.
Yeah. I
Now
was
the
having issues doing that though. I didn't know where to start. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so lost.
what?
But look,
Yeah.
this is what I'm telling you. I'm here with you and I'm doing what I need to do and I'm comfortable. And the minute you let go of my hand, I'm like, help me.
No, but you can do it, Chastity. You can do it. You certainly
That's so
can.
funny. I told my friend that. I told my friend, I was like, you know, with her, I'm good. I'm so comfortable and everything. And the minute she lets go of me, like, forget, I'm lost.
Oh my goodness, you can do it though, Chastity. I'm really proud of the improvement you've made because
Thank
you've got
you.
more confidence. You tried things. You're
Yeah.
answering questions. That's good, and that's come from practice. And that's why I
Yeah.
give you, that's why I give you the homework. I want you to practice, even if you can't do it all. Just try some of it because we'll always go over it. Okay.
Yeah. My husband was being mean because my friend was like, oh, she was coming to my house and she's like, oh, she asked me, what are you doing? I was, I'm supposed to go into the Zoom class, you know? And
Uh-huh.
then he's like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to your house. And then my husband is like, well, yeah, you could come because I don't even think she's learning anything from them. I was like, oh, how dare you? And
Oh
I was
boy.
laughing and I
Tell him
was like,
he's supposed to be
I said,
boosting you up.
I said, just because
You
I don't
tell him
show
I
you,
say he's
hi.
supposed to be boosting you up.
I
And,
know,
you
right?
know,
I was like, just because I don't show you my progress and you don't see
yeah.
me doing it,
Tell him
then you
he's
don't
got
mean
to be more encouraging. I mean, because family can definitely help you by being encouraging. That's for sure.
it. But no, there's times, a lot of times he tells me I'm good and, you know, he believes in me and all of that. But I guess he just wanted to have people over the house. So that's, I guess that's
Oh,
what.
okay. Well, he wanted some outside
Yeah, he's
company,
not. It's
right?
okay. You can come. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
Anyways,
all right, let's look at PEMDAS, order of operations. Maureen, you understand this one? It says 2 times 9 minus 2 plus 3 divided by 4. So PEMDAS, you do the parentheses first. So Chastity, what is 9 minus 2 plus 3?
9 minus 2,
And then add 3 to that difference. What is 9 minus 2 plus 3?
10.
That's it. Very good. So that's 2. We did what was in parentheses, and we got 10. Cass just told us 10. And now we want to divide that by 4. Okay, so let's put division sign in 4. And Chastity, what's 2 times 10?
12.
I
I'm
didn't say
tired.
I didn't say add.
Time.
Times,
What
multiplication.
do you say? You
2
said what?
times 10.
2 times
Multiplication.
is 20.
That's right. So you get 2 times 10 is 20. Now, what is 20 divided by 4, Chastity?
5.
That's it, 5. That's your answer. What answer is that, Maureen?
See.
C. Okay. Answer.
Wow. I don't know how I'm going to do.
So we did parentheses. Just go back and again, 9 minus 2 plus 3. And Chastity told us that's 10. 9 minus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10. So now the parentheses is a 10. So 2 times 10 divided by 4. So we do our multiplication, going left to right. 2 times 10 is 20. Then we do our division. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. Answer C. That's 5. All right. That was PEMDAS. Now the next one is also a PEMDAS.
Mhm.
In the expression 7 times 8 plus, in parentheses, we have 24 divided by 8. That's a division. And then the result of that times 4, a multiplication. And the question is, which part must be solved first? Maureen, which part must be solved first?
The multiplication.
Well, you see your choice. Can you see the choices?
Yeah.
Okay, so which of these choices must
You
be
want it
solved first.
parentheses. You want it parentheses.
Yeah, but you've got to tell me exactly what expression should be done first.
Oh,
Which one?
um,
It's in parentheses, but in parentheses, what do you see that should be done first?
the multiplication.
Multiplication of what?
8 and 4.
Nope. Remember, it's PEMDAS, but it's left to right. So if your division comes first, you're going left to right. You're going to do your division first.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? It's left to right.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
though it says PEMD. But if the multiplication comes first, you do it first, left
Oh,
to right. So parentheses, you're absolutely right. But within the parentheses, you want to do the division first. So what would be the answer?
B.
Which one?
B.
B, that's right. Answer B. 24 divided by 8. You would do that first, and then you take that result and multiply it by 4, right?
Mhm.
And you'd have 12. Then what would you do next? Once you did the parentheses, Maureen, what would you do next?
The multiplication.
That's right. You do the multiplication, the 7 times 8,
Yeah.
56, and you add that to this result, which is what? 3 times 4 is 12. So it's 56 plus 12, which will give you 68. That would be your answer. So the order, parentheses, but within the parentheses, the division first,
Mhm.
then the multiplication, that would take care of the parentheses, then the multiplication 7 times 8, and then the addition. So you really have 4 steps, okay? Questions number 4.
No.
What happened to Mercedes? Okay,
That was
now,
retired.
yeah, she works, but she was off though, I think. All right, I gave you an irregular shape, and I wanted you to find the perimeter. Theo draws up a floor plan of his living room space shown below. And you see this is an irregular. So you can't call it a rectangle, you can't call it a square, you can't call it a triangle, you can't call it a circle. It's irregular shape, right? But if you know the length of each side, you can add those up and get the perimeter. Now, he would like to add crown molding to connect the walls and ceiling all the way around the room. In other words, he wants crown molding all the way around the room, okay? This whole figure right here. This side, this side, this side, this side, this side, and the bottom. How many linear feet of crown molding does he need to complete this project? Now that means you're looking for perimeter, right? So perimeter is equal to the sum of all sides of the room. And the room is irregular shape. But you need to know the size, irregular shape. You need to know the length of every side. Okay. Now, Maureen, what would we have to add up? Tell me what we add up here. You see the sides, right?
8 feet.
Okay, so perimeter, let's just put here, P equal Now, Maureen, you said, let me just put this all together so you can see the figure as you add it up. Okay, so you said P equals 8. What else? Now, which 8 are you looking at? This 8,
Looking at the bottom, I'm looking at the bottom 8.
the bottom 8. Okay, so that's one side. What's the other number?
8 feet.
Okay, so you're looking at this 8 from here to here is 8, so that's plus 8. Okay, what else?
4 and 4.
4. That's right. You've got 4 here and you got 4 here. Okay, so you got 4 here twice. And what else?
Okay, hold on. And that's 4.
What 4 is that? You've gotten your 2 4s. You've got the side here 4, the side there 4.
Hmm.
Now there are 2 more pieces that don't have anything on them, but you can figure them
No.
out because you need to know this length and this length. So Maureen, what's this length right here at the top? From here to here, how long is that?
You look like 10.
How are you getting 10?
I know, I said look like 10
How does it look like 10?
because it's bigger than this 8.
Is it 12?
12, very good, Chastity, 12. Because Maureen, from here to here is 8, but you see this is 4. That means from
yeah.
here to here is 4, right?
You're
So that
right.
would be plus 12. Very good,
Uh-huh.
Chastity. And then there's one other piece, and that's this piece. How long is that, Maureen? This one. What is that? From here to
Is it?
here.
It look like 12.
That's it. Very good. Because from here to here is 8, and then you have 4 here. So that would be another 12. So when you add that up, what did you get? 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4 plus 12 plus 12. 16 plus 8 plus 24. What is that equal to?
Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
48?
48. That's it. Very good. 48. So that answer is what, Chastity?
D.
D. Very good. Answer D. And these are the kind of problems you'll see on testing. Not all of them just straight rectangles or squares, or regular shapes, and they may not give you all the lengths, but you should be able to figure them out. Like this one, you can figure it out because you know from here to this point is 8, and then you've got 4 more. So that's how you figure this is 12. And the same one at the top, the same space at the top. From here to here is 8, and then you got 4 more feet, and that's 12. Any questions on parameters of irregular figures?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, Mercedes. How
I
you
know.
doing?
Eric, gosh, Lucy.
I'm sorry, I just woke up. My phone didn't alarm.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I call you Lucy.
Okay.
Lucy,
So
my
we're
friend Lucy.
going over the homework, Mercedes. You get a chance to look at it?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to do it.
Okay. I put it in the mail. But it just went off yesterday. The mail just went out yesterday. They're kind of slow. I put it out in our mail room and they pick it up, but they didn't pick it up the first day I put it out. So if it went out Wednesday, you might get it tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Now, Mercedes, you're just in time to do division of fractions. Number 5, you came on just in time. Can you see that division? What does that say, Mercedes?
Number 6,
Number
divide
6.
the following.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you divide fractions? We divide.
First you keep the first one, and then you change the sign to multiplication, and then flip the half to, instead of 1/2, we got 2/1.
Okay, very good. So 2/3 divided by 1/2 becomes a multiplication. So this would be times, and then you say this would be 2/1 because you do the flip. Okay,
Yes.
so what's the answer, Mercedes?
Okay, the answer.
Numerator
2.
times the numerator, denominator times the
Yeah.
denominator. What do you get?
So you have the so you're gonna say 2 2s 4,
That's right. Okay.
and 3 1s 3. So you have 4/3.
4/3. Now, suppose I said what is that number as a mixed fraction or a mixed number? What would that be equal to?
What's the numbers are mixed?
Yeah, 4/3 is an improper fraction. Improper fractions, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So convert this 4/3 to a mixed number or a mixed fraction. What do you get?
1 and 1/3.
That's it. Very good. 1 and 1/3. So either answer you put here would be correct. So you could put 4/3. Let's just make that bigger. You could put 4/3, or you could put the mixed number 1 and 1/3. Any questions on division of fractions?
No, thank you.
All right. So that's good now, because Mercedes, before you had a problem with that. Now you understand it. That's excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you change, and just remember your key. Division becomes multiplication,
Yeah.
right? Division becomes multiplication. Now, Mercedes, let me ask you,
Cool, yeah.
suppose I ask you to multiply. Same thing I just gave you, 2/3 by 1/2. What do you get? What is that equal to?
Instead of changing it,
Oh, multiply 2/3 by 1/2 and simplify.
okay, then
So what do you get?
I get 1/2.
You get 1?
I get 3/6, then I simplify to 1/2. You see, if I multiply
Yes.
without changing the.
Well, multiply, you don't change anything. You
I
just
know.
multiply numerators and multiply denominators. So what is
Yes, I did.
2/3 by 1/2?
That you said 2/3 by 1/2. The answer would be 3/6 simplified to 1/2.
How are you getting 3?
No. Oh hell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So what do you get?
1/3.
2 times 1 is what?
2.
2. That's the numerators. Denominators 3 times 2. That's what?
6.
Then when you simplify it, it's what?
1/3.
1/3. That's right. Very good. So be careful now. So be careful when you're doing the multiplication, because you don't change anything. You just multiply the top numbers, the numerators, the bottom numbers, the denominators, and then simplify if necessary. And of course, it was necessary here because 2/6 is not in the simplest form.
That's right.
Any questions? So
No,
now you
thank-
got the multiplication and division all straightened out, right?
Thank you.
Now let's go to another perimeter problem. Okay, Maureen, I want you to read this and tell me how you would solve it.
I'm not there, Miss Barbara.
Oh, you're not here? Okay, Mercedes, read number 7.
If the perimeter of a rectangular house is 25 1/3 yard and the length is 22 feet, what is the width?
Okay, now what is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangular, Mercedes?
Width by,
I didn't say area.
uh-oh.
Well, area is
Length by-
length by
length by-
width, but what is perimeter of a rectangle?
How much again? Just let me.
What's the formula for
Because-
perimeter of a rectangle?
But
Okay, Maureen, you know?
two left, two left, two left. You said perimeter, right?
Yes. You
Of
said
a rectangle.
of a rectangle. What did you say, Maureen?
Two left, two left.
What are you doing with them? What operation?
Two left
By 2.
multiplied by two left
Nope. Multiplication is area
plus.
plus
Plus, yeah,
2
plus.
length
L plus.
plus 2 width. Okay, that's the perimeter of a rectangle. Remember, I
Okay.
gave you those formulas before?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And if it were a square, where sides are all equal, it'd just be 4 times the length of a side, right? But for a rectangle, it's 2 length plus 2 width.
Width.
So the perimeter of this rectangular house is 25,
And 1/3 yards.
right, 25. Let's see, 25 and 1/3 yards. Now you notice your length is in feet, so you got to convert that perimeter to feet. So Mercedes, 25 and 1/3 yards is how many feet?
I have to convert the fraction to yard.
Well, no, you're converting yards to feet. How many feet are in 1 yard? Mercedes,
3.
3. That's right. 3 feet equal 1 yard. Okay. So 25 feet would be how many yards? I mean, 25 yards, I'm sorry, would be how many feet? Mercedes.
That would be 75.
That's right, 75 feet. And then 1/3 yard would be how many feet?
That's the part I don't know to remember to convert.
Well, 1/3 of a yard. If 3 feet is 1 yard, how many feet are in 1/3 of a yard? How many feet in 1/3? Now, let me just put here, you said 25. Let me put what you said, 25 yards equal 75 feet. All right. Now I ask you 1/3 of a yard equal how many feet? Mercedes?
Would that be just 1 sec?
Would that be 12 feet? I don't know.
That would be 0.39.
No.
I'm doing it wrong.
3 feet, 1 yard.
3 feet is in 1 yard.
I'm doing it wrong.
1/3 of a yard would be how many feet, Maureen?
Let me see.
4.
Maybe 12.
No, it's gotta be less. 1/3
Oh.
is less than a yard, so it's gotta be less than 3 feet, not more. So
0.4,
what is it, Mercedes?
0.4.
No, it would just be 1/3.
9.
No, times 3. What's 1/3 times 3?
1/3 times 3.
Yes.
Already. 0.39 I got.
No. What's 1/3 times 3, Mercedes?
I tried to do it and I got 0.39, so I don't know
No,
if I'm being wrong.
1/3 times 3 is 3/3, which is equal
3
to
over
1.
3.
That's equal
3
to
over 3.
1,
Oh Lord.
right?
Oh yeah.
That's not the math.
Guess what? Yeah. No, guess what, Miss? You multiply the fraction, it's not a, didn't catch on. So it's just the
Yes.
same like,
Yeah,
it's just the same like,
if 3 feet is 1 yard, 1/3 of a yard is 1/3 of 3 feet, which is 1 foot,
yeah, and that's one.
right? So that means that the 25 and 1/3 yards equal 75 plus 1 equals 76 feet. All right. Questions?
So all we need to do, Miss, was just say 3 times 1/3 is equal to 3.
Is equal to 3/3. Remember, numerator
Yeah.
times numerator, 3 times 1 is 3, and then 3 times 1 denominator is 3. So 3/3 is just the whole number 1. So if 25 yards is 75 feet, and 1/3 of a yard is 1 foot, then the mixed number 25 and 1/3 is equal to 76 feet. Is that clear?
Hold on.
Mercedes,
Okay,
question?
yes. So then you had the 1 to the 75. You get 76 feet.
That's right. So my 25 and 1/3 yards is equal to 76 feet, right? So now substitute in this formula, parameter, as Maureen said, 2 lengths plus 2 width. So let's just put that here and put the 76 in. All right. Now for perimeter, we converted our yards to feet and we got 76 feet, right? 76 feet. All right. Now the length is what? What's the length, Mercedes?
22.
22. So for L, we put our length. This will be times 22. All right. Now solve that. 76 feet is 2 times 22 plus 2W. We wanted to find the width. So how would you solve this for the width?
Multiply 22 by 2.
Okay, so let's just put that here. Okay. 76 feet equal 44 plus 2W. Now, how do we solve for W, Mercedes?
Or we solve for W.
What do we do first to this with this equation?
Oh, let me get it clear. You're gonna. I thought we solved W already, which is for the. Let me see. No.
Yeah, because the question was, what is the
The
width?
length.
And W is the width.
Okay.
So what do we do first to solve this equation that says 76 feet is 44 plus 2W? What do we do first to solve this for W? What's the first step?
I don't quite recall. I'm
You
doubtful.
add it?
Add what, Maureen?
The I know. Add
Maureen,
it, you add it 22.
you want the W, the 2W by itself. So what would you do? You want 2W on the right by itself. So what do you do to the equation for that to happen?
Divide.
Multiply is 22 to let me see.
I want just 2W left on the right side. What do I do, Mercedes, to get 2W left over here?
Divide 44 by 2.
No, why would you divide?
Oh, because it says if I want 2 double on both sides.
No, I didn't
I
say both
thought
sides. I said I want 2W on the right side by itself. So what
So
do
you
I do with the 44?
divide.
Why would you divide?
Because I'm just thinking that one is 22 and one is 22.
No, no.
So you
One
put
side.
that you put the W, the two one side, then the other side. It's called. I don't remember.
No, I want 2W left over here on the right side. So what do I do with this 44, Maureen? What do I do with this 44?
Add 2 to it.
But is that the front is 2W?
No, no. 44 is being added. What's the opposite of addition?
Subtract.
Subtract. So you got to subtract the 44 from both sides. Remember, I say you do the opposite operation. So subtract 44 from both sides. You're saying add, you're saying multiply and divide, but no, 44 is not being divided, it's being added. So subtract 44.
Excuse me, miss. We do
Yes.
PEMDAS with this. With this proverb, we're doing PEMDAS too.
No.
Well,
No.
well, the thing is, we're trying to solve for W.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get W left on the right side. So we've got to get the 44.
From both
We've
sides.
got to remove this 44 from the right side, right? In order to do that, we have to do the opposite operation. It's being added here. So you got to subtract it from both sides, and then you'll have just 2W left. So what this will look like, let me just put here, then put the minus 44. Okay, so we want to subtract our 44 from both sides. So let's just put that there. Subtract 44 on the left side and on the right side. So this will be minus 44 and minus 44. So 44 from 36 is what, Mercedes?
44 from 36.
From 76.
76, that will be 32.
So that's 32. Okay. Now, a plus 44 and a minus 4 on the right side gives you what?
Give me 46.
A plus 44 and a minus 44.
Oh, sorry. Plus 44. That's 0.
That's 0, right? So it's 0 plus 2W, which is just 2W, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now you can do your answer now, mental math, right? So if 32 equals 2W, Maureen, what is W equal to? Mental math now. 2 times some number equals 32. What is that
16.
number? That's right. W is 32 divided by 2 equals 16. And that answer is what? A.
Yeah.
Miss, I understand how you're working this out, but I don't clear with the how you get. I don't so clear on the the 2L plus 2W. When you put getting the number, the answers, I don't clear. I'm not so clear.
Okay,
I see what you're doing, but
the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is the sum of two lengths and two widths. Two lengths plus two width. That's our formula. Are you clear on the formula?
okay. So the
Mercedes?
formula is the sum of 2L,
Yeah,
two
two
lengths.
lengths plus two width. That's the
Okay.
formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to know that formula in order to solve either length or width if you're given perimeter. If you weren't given perimeter, then you need to know the length and the width, or the length and a relationship between the length and the width. Okay, in this case, you were given the perimeter and you were given the length and you were to find the width. So you know perimeter, that was the 25 1/3 yards, and you know the length and you have to find the width.
Okay, so we know that the length was 225 1/3.
No, the 25 1/3 is the
Yeah.
perimeter. But
Yeah.
we had to convert, but since we were given yards and feet, we can't work with dimensions that are different units. So we had to convert the yards to feet, because look at the problem. The problem gave you the length in feet, but the perimeter in yards.
Okay.
So you had to convert the yards to feet. So you're working with feet. You got it?
So, okay, so because it's 2W, you have to you had that to get 44.
Well, the two lengths, because the length is 22.
Yeah.
The 22 is for the L, the length, because that's what was given in the problem. So it's 2 times the length, that is 22, plus 2 times W is equal to the perimeter that was given as 25 1/3 yards. That is equivalent to 76 feet. Questions, Mercedes?
Okay, let it go. I'll study it again.
Now, if this were given in feet instead of yards, in other words, the perimeter was given in feet, then you wouldn't have to make that conversion. You just put the number of feet and 2 times the length plus 2 times W.
So, Miss, the length is, because it's 2 times length, you have to put 22 on one side and 22 on the other side, right?
No. This is the formula right here, Mercedes. Perimeter equals 2 length plus 2 width. The length was given as 22. So we put for the length here 22. So 2L becomes 2 times 22.
Okay.
76 is the perimeter. And we got that for converting yards to feet. So perimeter of 76 feet for this house is 2 times the length of 22 feet plus 2 times the width of 2W. So we only have one unknown here, and that's W.
Yes.
Right? So at this point, you want to solve for the W. But like I said, if you want 2W on the right side, you've got to get the 44, 2 times 22, on this side. In order to do that, remember, keep equation in balance. What you do to left side, you have to do to the right side. Always doing the opposite operation. You're adding the 44, so you need to subtract it. Because if you subtract 44 on the right side, then it goes to 0, and you have just 2W left.
Okay.
Right? And then subtract the 44 from the 76. You got the 32. And that 32 is equal to 2 widths. So if 2 widths are 32, then 1 width is
Should
16,
be 16.
half
Okay,
of it,
got you.
right?
Got you.
And so we know the width is 16.
Yes, got you.
Now you can prove this. Take the two widths, add them up and see if you get 76. What's 2
Okay.
times 16 plus 2 times 22? What does that add up to?
2 times 16 plus 2 times 32. Is that what you
Yes,
said?
what does that add up to?
That would add up to 8.
2 times 16 plus 2 times 22 equal what?
That would equal 108. Let me
No,
check it right.
2 16s plus 2
Okay, that's
22.
32. Oh, plus 230.
2
Two
times
six-
16 is what?
That's 32.
And 2 times 22 is what?
44.
And add those together, you get what?
It's 76.
That's so you know it's correct because that's what your perimeter is. 76.
Okay.
So that's the way you could check it, right? You
Okay.
take that 2 22s and the 2 widths, 2 16, 44 plus 32, and that adds up to 76, which is what was given as the perimeter.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Barbara.
All right.
I wasn't so clear on the width part. That's why. I wasn't
Okay.
so clear.
See, the width is what we're looking for.
Yes, thank you.
You're given the perimeter, you're given the length. What is the width? So that's your unknown. So you
Yes.
set up your known equation for definition of perimeter of a rectangle, 2 length plus 2 width. All right.
Yes.
And you can then solve it because you know the perimeter, you know the length, the only unknown is the width. Now, Maureen, what would be the area of this rectangular? What is the area?
The area,
Yes. What is the area of this rectangle, the same rectangle?
you mean the area is like you check all 4 sides.
No. What is the area? What's the formula for area of a rectangle? What's the formula?
Length,
Area
length.
equal what?
Length plus width.
Nope. Area is square units, so it's a multiplication. Length times width,
Oh,
right? Area is length times width. So
yeah, because you
now-
got to multiply one side, yeah.
so what would be the area, Mercedes? You know the length, you know the width. What would be the area?
Okay.
We're talking the same rectangular. A equals L times W. So what is the length, Mercedes?
The length is 76.
No, what is the length? I didn't say perimeter.
Uh-oh.
What's the length?
The length of
22
the.
feet,
Right here.
22.
Okay, yes.
That's the length. Okay, so length is 22. We calculated the width. What's the width, Mercedes?
The width was 76.
That's the
No,
perimeter.
Mixing it up.
We calculated the width. Let's go back to here. What was the width? Right here.
16.
16. Okay. So the width is 16. Multiply that out. What do you get?
And the answer should be 352.
And what would be the units?
Feet.
Nope.
Oh, you said the area?
Area is always square units.
Yes.
So this will be square
Square
feet. Or you could say feet squared, put a power on it. Either way. Area is always square because feet times feet or yards times yards or meters times meters give you square units. Perimeters in units. So if perimeters in feet, area will be square feet. If perimeter was in yards, area would be square yards. If perimeter was in meters, area would be square meters. Area is always square units.
Okay.
That clear?
Yes.
That's the multiplication. See, here we just adding the units. Feet plus feet will give you feet. Yards plus yards will give you yards. Here you multiplying. So it's like if this is multiplying, feet times feet would be feet squared or square feet. And it's written both ways, okay?
Oh yeah, I got you. Because 22 is length, wise 16 is
It's
the
the
width,
width, right?
and it's two each. So
So that same house, that's a rectangle that had a perimeter of 76 feet has an area of 352 square feet. So notice the difference. Perimeter was 76, sorry, not 8, 76 feet, and the area was 352 square feet. Got it?
So the area you're gonna multiply all of it to get one number.
You multiply length times width.
And the
Perimeter is
parameter.
2 lengths plus 2 width. That's for a rectangle.
Okay.
Now, if it were a square, let's go to a square because it's a different formula. Perimeter of a square, P, is equal to 4S. In other words, that's 4 times the length of a side. Okay, so I give you a square. Okay, a square. I want you to work this one out. A square has a length of 4 meters. All right. Okay. Now I want you to tell me two things. What is the perimeter of the square? And what is the area of the square? What is the perimeter of the square and what is the area of the square? Maureen, you got it?
Yeah.
What is the perimeter of the square? So the square has a length of 4 meters. What is the perimeter of the square? That's the first thing I want you to find. What is the area of the square? The area is just length times width. Okay, so what is the perimeter of the square, Mercedes?
The perimeter of the air.
4 times 4.
That's 4 plus 4.
4 times the length of a
4
side.
times 4.
All the sides are equal.
Yeah.
So what would it be, Maureen?
16.
Perimeter would just, the perimeter would just be
That's 16.
4 times the length of a side, and the length of the side is 4 meters. So the perimeter would be equal to 4 times 4, and that's in meters, and that would be 16 meters. All right. What is the area? Mercedes,
32. Is that 32?
what is the area?
32.
No. What's the area, Maureen?
The area,
Yes. Length time width.
yeah,
So what is that?
length times width is
Length.
L times W.
Yeah, what would that be equal to? What's the length? What's the length of the square?
16.
The length?
Living square is 22.
No, we're talking a square here. A square has a length of 4 meters. I gave it to you right here.
Or 4, yeah.
So that would be 4 times 4. And that would be 16, but that would be square meters, right?
Is
Square meters. Notice the difference. Because all lengths are the same for a square.
uh-huh.
So I
See,
have to answer that
with
without the notes.
rectangle, you have 2 lengths, you have 2 widths. They're different. But for a square, all lengths are equal.
So it's a 16 square meter.
16
What-
square meters, right? Because we
Well, if-
gave you meters as the units.
That's why I get the answer. I wrote it down and I'm looking at it. It says, I don't get what she was saying. So I don't understand. So you would 16 meter for the perimeter.
16 meters would be the perimeter, and
And
the area would be 16 square meters.
okay.
Now, mental math. Let me change this. Okay, I just want to change this. Suppose the side is, this is mental math, sides of square is 3 feet. All right, Mercedes, what is the perimeter?
If the area was
If the side of the square is 3 feet, what is the perimeter? Perimeter equal to what?
you're talking about still square? Oh yeah.
I'm
Side of the
talking-
square is
yeah.
3 feet.
I gave you one of 4 meters. Now I'm telling you the side of the square is 3 feet. So what would be the perimeter?
The perimeter would be 12.
Yes, 4 times the length of a side, right? So it'd be 4 times 3, and that would be equal to 12 feet. What would be the area, Mercedes?
The area would be 12 square feet.
No,
No, it's 12
No, I gotta say length. Length.
or side square. What side square? Or length time width, either way. Because the sides are all the same. What is it, Maureen? Side times
Yeah.
side. Maureen,
Oh.
what's side times side, Maureen?
5 times 5
Side of the
Oh.
square.
is
What's
3.
Yeah, so what's side times side?
9.
9.
9 square feet. So it'll be 3 times 3
Equal 9.
equal 9 square feet. All right.
Oh.
See, I gave you one because I didn't want you to think that the perimeter and the area was always the same number.
Same.
All right.
Yeah.
See, because you always take this side and multiply it by 4, because there are 4 sides to a square. And that's how you got the 12 feet. But the area is side times side. In other words, side square. Well, length times width, either way you want to look at it, but the length and width are the same. So 3 times 3 is 9. So that square that was 3 feet per side has a perimeter of 12 feet, 4 times 3, and an area of 3 times 3 or 9 square feet. You got it? You can see the difference?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So for a square, all sides are equal, but that's not true of a rectangle. Rectangle, you have 2 lengths that are equal and 2 widths that are equal, but they're not equal to each other. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, let's look at some fractions. Okay, let me go to a new share. And I want to, okay, so we're looking at fractions. Fractions and decimals. Now, decimals, fractions, and percentages, just a different way of showing the same value. Now, let me show you the, let's see if I have it here. Oh, the percent. Let's see. I want to bring up the chart. Let's see if you see it. Do you see the percent chart?
Let's see.
Let's see, new share. Oh,
I
do
see
you
something
see?
like per.
Okay, do
Okay.
you see the percent chart?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay, so you have percent, decimal, fraction. Now, I want you to know the differences here. I want you to know how to go from percent to decimal, percent to fraction, fraction to decimal, fraction to percent. All right. Now, I gave you a table of commonly used ones because after you use them enough, some you'll just remember. 1% as a decimal, 0.01. In other words, you're doing what? Dividing 1 by 100. And that's what the fraction is, 1 over 100. Okay. Now, as a decimal, you divide by 100, or you could move your decimal point 2 places to the left. So the decimal point is right here behind the 1. And if you move it 2 places, it will be 0.01. Okay. And then the fraction, since the decimal said 100th, the fraction is the percent number over 100, 1 over 100. All right. If it were 5%, now 5%, if you shift your decimal point, divide by 100, 5 over 100 simplifies to 1 over 20. Notice the fraction here is in its simplified form. See, this is 5 over 100, but 5 over 100 simplifies to 1 over 20.
Okay.
So if you know 5%, 10% would just be double what 5%. So you don't have to remember them all. See, because if you know 5%, you know 10, you know 20, you know 30, you know 40, etc. Right? 10%, 1.1 or 1 over 10. 10 over 100 is 1 over 10. And if you know 25%, you know half of 25% is 12 and a half, right? Half of 1/4 is 1/8. So you don't have to memorize them all. If you know 25, you should know half of 25. You should know twice 25, that's 0.5. You should know what? 100, which is a whole 1. 1 over 1 is 100. Or any number over itself. 5 over 5 is 100. Or if you had greater than 100%, you'd have 125 over 100, 1.25, simplify this to 5 over 4. So these are some common percents, but I want you to know that they all reference the same thing, but you should be able to convert one to the other.
Okay.
All right. But it's best not to try to memorize them, just to know the relationships and then you can figure them out. Because if you know 25%, you certainly know 50. That's just double, right? 75% is just 3 times 25. Okay. And you can have percents bigger than 100. 200%. That's the whole number 2. Okay. 2 times 100 give you 200%. And we don't put the fraction here because it's just 1 over 1 or 2 over 1. Okay. And then when you get to like 1/3, okay, 1/3 half, 33 1/3 is 1/3. If you multiply 33 1/3 by 3, you get 100, right? Then 2/3 is just 2 times 33 1/3, which is 66 2/3%. So you really, once you know 1/3, you also know 2/3. Now let's look at some rules, okay, and some examples. So a half, like we said, is just different ways of showing the same value. So a half can be a fraction 1/2, a decimal 0.5, or percentage 50%. Like I say, you can always relate these back to money. A quarter is 1/4 of a dollar. It's 0.25 of a dollar. It's 25% of a dollar. Now,
Okay.
conversions, use the one that you're more comfortable with. To go from percent to decimal, you divide by 100, or you can move the decimal point 2 places to the left. All right. So either way, if it's easier for you to divide by 100, or if it's easier for you to shift the decimal point, you get the same thing. 65%, the decimal point is behind the 5. Move it 2 places, it's in front of the 6. Any questions of how you go from percent to decimal?
No, miss, I'm getting the kick of it. I just
You
keep on,
getting it?
I just
Okay.
keep studying so I
So
can remember.
if you had 0.125, what would that be as a percent, Mercedes? I'm sorry, I'm doing it the opposite. If I had 12.5%, we're going from percent to decimal, okay? So 12.5%. What would that be as a decimal, Mercedes?
12 point.
Divide by 100 or shift your decimal point 2 places to the left. So what would that be?
I will get 1.25
2 places?
or 1, 2. That's
2
0
places to the
0.12,
0.1?
25 to the left.
Yeah, move your decimal point 2 places to the left. That becomes what? 0.1?
0.125.
That's it. Very good. 0.125. Yeah. Which is the same as dividing by 100. Okay.
Okay.
That's percent to decimal. Percent to decimal, drop your percent sign, move 2 places to the left. Same as divide by 100. Now, if you were doing the opposite, suppose you're going from decimal to percent. Now, that's the opposite. So you're multiplying by 100 or you're moving to the right. So if you had like 0.38, move the decimal point 2 places, it's behind the 8, and then add the percent sign. 1.50, 2 places to the right, becomes 150, add the percent sign.
Okay.
0.025, you move 2 places between the 2 and the 5, that becomes 2.5%. Any questions on that? So decimal to percent, multiply by 100. Percent to decimal, divide by 100. Dividing by 100 is shifting to the left. Multiplied by 100 is shifting decimal point to the right. Got it?
Okay, miss.
Now, from fraction to decimal, Suppose you had 2/5 and you want to convert it to decimal. You just divide the numerator, the top number, by the bottom
The
number.
custom number.
Yeah, 2 divided by 5 is the decimal 0.4. And you've got your decimal. 2/5 is 0.4. Then if you want to do the opposite from decimals to fraction, you just write the decimal as a fraction. Like you had 0.75, just write it as 75 over 100. Then the second step would be just to simplify it. Divide 75 by 25, you get 3. 100 by 25, you get 4. And you know this fraction. It's a familiar fraction, 3/4, 3/4. Okay?
Okay.
So from decimal to a fraction, you just convert it to a fraction, write it as a fraction, and then simplify it. Now, fraction to a percent. Fraction to percent is another division. So if you have 3/8, and some of these you know already, so you probably won't have to do the conversion. So 3/8, divide 3 by 8, you get a decimal 0.375. And there again, you do what we said to go from decimal to percent, multiply by 100, or shift your decimal point 2 places to the right. So from this point to between the 7 and the 5. So 3/8 as a fraction is 37.5%. Questions so far? Percentage to fraction. That's our last one. You want to convert a percentage to a fraction. All right. You first convert it to a decimal. We went to that before, right? That's just divide by 100 or shifting your decimal point 2 places to the left. So 80% becomes 0.80, as you see right here, right? That's 80 over 100, which is 8 over 10. You can just drop the 0 in the numerator and the 0 in the denominator. This becomes 8 over 10. Then you can simplify it. Just divide 2 into 8 and get 4, add 2 into 10 and get 5. Any questions on converting? And just remember, it's just different ways of saying the same thing. 1/4 is 0.25, and it's also 25%. Now, I want you to do some. I have some here for you to do. I want you to convert these percentages to a fraction and a decimal. First one is 20%. What would that be as a decimal? I'll say these 20%.
That would be 0.20.
That's right. 20% equals 0.20. What would it be as a fraction?
As a fraction, it would be that would be what did I miss?
What would it be as a fraction? Well, 0.20 is really, what would it, as a fraction, Maureen? 20 over 100. And if you simplify that, Maureen, what do you get?
10 over 50.
No.
No.
20 over 100? Divide the numerator by 20 and the denominator by 20. What do you get?
5 into 24.
Divide the numerator by 20 and your denominator by 20.
1.
Okay,
120.
1 over what?
1 over 20.
20 and 100 goes how many times?
5 times.
5. So there's your fraction. 20% is 1/5.
Mm.
And you saw that from your table.
Yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Right?
Yes, that's true.
And 40% is double that. So what would be 40%? Just give me the fraction, Mercedes. What would be the fraction for 40%?
1/10.
No.
The fraction?
If 20% is 1/5, 40% is going to be double 20%. So what's 2 times 1/5?
110.
2 times 1/5?
Oh no.
30.
2 times 1/5. Multiply numerators, multiply denominators. Will you get that, Maureen? 2 times 1 is what?
2,
5 times 1 is what?
5.
That's it.
2 5.
Remember, I said it's double.
Miss.
If
Instead of-
20% is
I know
1/5,
what I did,
40% is just going to be double that.
Yeah, so instead of saying 10, I should just say 2/5, which is mean.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
double.
I did
It's
put up
double
zero.
that. That's what I'm saying. You
Double.
didn't have to go through it again because
Yeah,
20% is half of
just a
40.
2.
40 is going to be double whatever 20 was. And of
So because
course, as a decimal, it's just 0.40, right?
Yes, because the 2 times 1/5 mean you double 2 ones 2.
Yeah,
And that's
2
two double.
ones, 2, and
Yeah.
then 5. You just multiply
Yeah,
numerators, multiply
because I'm thought
denominators.
I right, but I put it the wrong way. Instead of saying 2/5, I am saying 1/10, which means I shouldn't say that. I should put the 1 to 2/5.
Okay. 50%. What is 50% as a decimal, Mouse lady? 0. What?
0.50.
0.50. Okay. What would it be as a fraction?
That would be
That's mental
well,
math.
I know it's mental math.
50% is what part of a dollar?
The half says
Half.
over
1/2. That's it. 50 over 100 is 50, and the 50 is 1 and 50 and 100 2. But that's one you know already, so you don't really have to go through the calculation, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes when I see like a 0.50, sometimes I get doubtful. Like
Yeah, but it's 5/10. 5/10 is half, right? 50 over 100 equal 5/10. 5/10 is 1/2. 75%. What is a decimal, Maureen?
That 20%
75%.
is 3/4.
yeah.
What is that? A decimal?
Huh?
Decimal.
Huh.
75% is what as a decimal?
0.75.
That's it. And as a fraction?
3/4.
That's it. Very good. All right. Now 35%, Mercedes. What is it as a decimal? 0 what?
0.35.
Okay. And what as a fraction?
3/5. That's 3/5.
3/5. 35 over 100 equal what?
Oh Lordy. Don't tell me mix them up again. Every time I go
What is
straight.
35 over 100 simplified, Maureen?
35 over 100.
35 over 100. What number goes in the 35 also goes in the 100?
5.
5. 5 in the 35, how many times?
7.
7.
To be 720.
5 in the 100, 20. 7 over 20, right? 75.2%. What would that be as a decimal, Mercedes? 0. What?
0.752.
That's it. What would it be as a fraction?
Oh no.
7.52 over 100.
No, that's 1,000, Maureen.
1,000. Oh,
10 hundredths thousand. So that's
oh yeah, that's true, yeah.
752 over 1,000. Can that be simplified? 752 over 1,000, yes. What would that be?
Is it 47 over 6.
Well, you can divide it by 4 and you get 188 over 250. And that's the simplified version. Because if you try to factor it further, you get prime numbers. So, but if you just left it 752 over 1,000, that's okay. All right. As long as you know that place value, 7 is in the 10th place, 5 in the 100th place, 2 is in the 1,000th place. Maureen, not 100. 100 is right here.
Yeah.
So 752.752 is 752 over 1,000. Now I want you to take this next list. Now I gave you the fraction, I gave you the decimal. I just want you to tell me the percent. What's the percent for the first one, Maureen?
Which one?
2 over 5 is 4/10. So what would it be as a percent?
Okay, percent. 4 over 10?
Percent, not fraction. It's already fraction, 2 over 5. It's already decimal, 0.4. All I want is a percent. 0.4.
0.4?
No, 0.4 is a decimal.
Uh-huh.
A percent will be a number with a percent sign. What is it, Mercedes?
That would 25%.
2 over 5?
2 over 5.
The decimal I gave you is 0.4. Same as 0.4.
That's
So what would it be as a percent? Multiply the decimal by 100. What do you get?
if I multiplied it
40?
by
40%.
Percent.
Shift decimal point 2 places to the right or just multiply it by 100. Mercedes, you got it?
what did she do? Multiply
0.4 by 100.
Oh,
Or shift your decimal point 2 places. And that means you put a 0 because you right here would be 1 place and then a 0, that would be 2 places.
I have to practice this thing back and forth because I'm
What is the 0.5, Mercedes? What percent?
that would be 25%.
0.5?
Oh,
Shift your decimal point 50%. Mercedes, all you're doing is shifting the decimal point 2 places and multiplying by 100.
oh Lord.
What about this 0.7, Mercedes? What percent?
75%.
Where are you getting a 5 from? It's a 0.70.
Not thinking that's what's happening.
0.7 just would be 70%. Multiply your number by 100. Multiply it by 100 or shift decimal point 2 places to the right. What about the next one, Mercedes? 0.05. What percent? .05 times 100 or move decimal point 2 places to the right. So it's right here. If you move it 2 places, what does that number become, Mercedes?
If I move it 2 places
To the right. What's the percent?
that would, I'm just not thinking today.
Decimal point is right here. So right here is 1 place and behind the 5 is 1 place. So what's the answer?
So shift my decimal point to 2 places to the left.
To the right, to the right, same as multiplying by 100. So your decimal point is now behind the 5, right here. So what's the percent, Mercedes?
The percent will be 5.
That's it. Very good. 5. All you're doing is multiplying by 100, moving your decimal point 2 places to the right. So 0.15 becomes what as a percent, Mercedes?
Um, 15%.
What would it be? That's it, 15%. All right, now you got one more. 0.1, what would that be as a percent?
1%. No,
That's only moving it
That's-
one place. 2 places,
0.1%.
no.
No,
You're moving your decimal point 2 places
to the right.
to the right or multiplying by 100.
That would be 0.1. No, what am I saying? 1%.
1/10 is what percent?
1/10 would be. I'm just not thinking today.
What's 1/10 of 100?
10%.
10%. See, Mercedes, when you say 1/10, that's as a fraction.
1 upon 100.
0.1 as a decimal. Multiply 0.1 times 100, you get 10. See, 0.1 times 100 equals 10. That's how you get 10%.
0.
All right. Is it 0.1 times 100, 10?
Yes.
Because you
Yeah.
pointed off one place and then you got 10. 0.15 times 100 is 15. 0.7 times 100 is 70.
Oh, because all of them is upon the 10
Two,
signify 100.
you're multiplying by 100, which is the same as shifting 2 places to the right. So 0.2 times 100 is 20. 0.3 by 100 would be 30. 0.4 times 100 would be 40. 0.5 times 100 is 50%. Got it?
So 0.2 times 100 is 20.
Right. 0.3 by 100 would be 30. 0.4 times 100 would be 40. 0.5 times 100 would be 50%. All right.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
0.05 times 100, you'd have, let's put here, 0.05 times 100. What would that be, Mercedes?
5.
5%. Yeah. Because once you multiply and point it off one place, you get 5. Well, you pointed off 2 places because it's 0.05, 2 places. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, now we have some, oh boy, time is almost over, but I want you to do some practice ones. Actually, your homework, it will be something like this. Okay. All right. Number 3. Express 3 as an equivalent fraction having denominator 24. So what number over 24 will give you 3? Which number do you divide by 24 and get 3, Maureen?
Let me wait, 24, get 3.
Mhm.
Let me see, 24.
What's the question, miss? What number divided by
What number you
3?
divide by 24 and get 3?
Oh,
So which one would be A, B, C, or D?
Think C.
18 over 24 gives you a fraction, something less than 3.
Oh,
In order to get 3, your denominator, your numerator has to be bigger
oh,
than your
48.
denominator.
48.
No, that's 2. 48
Oh.
divided by 24 is 2.
22.
What would it be, Mercedes?
A.
A. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I got 324 this
Right.
time.
Yeah, it says express 3 as an equivalent fraction having the
Yeah,
denominator 24. So 3 times 24 is 72,
72,
right?
yeah. Yeah, it's simple table straight off, yeah.
Okay. All right, Mercedes. Answer number 4 for me, Mercedes. What's the answer? Read it. Tell me the answer.
See if I can do it. Mason has lunch at a restaurant, and the cost of his meal is $30. Mason want to leave a 20% tip. What is Mason's total bill, including tip?
Okay, so what is 20%
Percent
of
30.
$30? What is that? Mercedes, what is,
see.
so you want 20%
Percent of $36.
of $30. What is that, Mercedes?
Is that 6?
Okay, that's equal to $6, right? So what's the total bill?
Should be $36.
That's it. Very good. So his total bill, including tip, would be $36. All right, very good. So you just add the 30 plus the 6, right? 30 plus 6 equal $36. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Maureen, the last one, number 5. Read it, tell me the answer. Mental math.
According to the National Atmosphere and Oceanic Administration, we experienced 16 named storms in 2019. 8 of those storms grew into hurricanes, while 5 were major hurricanes. What fraction of these named storms developed in hurricanes?
So what would you use here? So you have 16.
8. It said, what fraction of these names storms develop into hurricanes?
Okay, so what's your answer, Maureen?
Half.
Okay, very good. So answer what?
A.
That's it. Mercedes, you see that?
Yes, yes.
Answer A, that you got from dividing 8 by 16, right? They gave you some extra information that they call it red herring. You didn't really need to know the 5 major hurricanes, right?
I know.
All you need to know is how many hurricanes were there and how many grew into, I mean, the storms were there and how many
Yeah.
grew into hurricanes.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah. I see that.
That's it. So let's do just one more. Okay. Mercedes, number 6. Read it. Tell me how you would solve it. Okay.
In the United States, what's that?
Patent.
In the United States Patent or Trademark Office, 6,000 examiners are faced with a backlog of 770,000 unexamined. New application for what's it again? Patent.
Patents.
Patents. For each of these 6,000 examiners, how many applications do they need to catch up on? Round the answer to the nearest tenth.
Okay, so the information you need are the 6,000 examiners faced with a backlog of 770,000. Okay, so how would you solve this?
Let's see, you would have to divide 770,000 by 6,000.
That's right. Do that. Tell me what you get. Very good. You got the operation correctly. So what do you get? What answer do you get?
Oh, I get 0.
Maureen, did you do that?
Point.
Let me
Just a minute. Let me see. Just a minute, miss.
7,000
0.
divided by 6,000.
Okay.
It's how much thousand?
I get-
77.
I get 128.3.
So what's the
Oh,
answer to the nearest tenth? What's the answer?
C.
Okay,
Oh,
because you got 128. 333. Okay, so or to the nearest tenth would be 128.3, and that's correct. Mercedes, answer C. Very good. Okay, so we'll stop here. Now your homework will basically be what we went over on decimals, percent, and fractions. Okay, and I think maybe one or two word problems, but mostly knowing how to go from one format to the other. Decimals to percent, percent to fractions, fractions to decimals, and decimals to percent. Okay, any questions?
you're gonna say that now, miss?
Yes, I'll be sending that. I'll be sending you
I don't
what we
want-
went over, and I'll be sending you your homework for
I mean
Monday.
the homework. I mean the homework for this evening. Gonna send it. Looking from this, because I want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yes, I have the homework ready and I'll be sending that. I'll send it a separate email. I send you 2 emails, one of the session we went over and the homework we had from last week for today. And then I'll send you the homework to be set for Monday. So if you finish it, you want to send me answers, I'll check it. And we'll go over it on Monday. Any questions on anything we've gone over?
I promised myself that I want to start do the homework the same time I get it, because I'm not going to go to work. It's much of a struggle between keeping awake and doing something. Mixing up my answer. Mixing up my answer.
Well, I'll be sending you the homework right after I go off this
because
session.
I'm seeing where you were doing it. I look at the preview and I see where you're doing it. I say, oh my God, I get those answers right. Oh, on earth, I sent the wrong answer to her. I did them and I got it right.
Yeah, that happened with somebody else. They said, oh, that's not there. I said, well, that's what you
I
said me.
I'm doing it with you guys. And I said, oh my God, I get those right. Oh, they might have sent the wrong sheet to the lady.
Yeah, that happens. That's why you got to check your work.
Exactly.
Check it. Be careful because it's easy to make a mistake. So easy. All right. So you did good today. All right.
Thank you, miss. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So it's not a lot of homework I'm gonna give you. I think maybe 6 or 7 problems, but I think you'll be able to answer them.
Miss,
yes, you have a question, Mercedes?
Yes, I'm just trying to work up myself study to see if September I can sit the GED again.
Okay.
Or I just want to know the possibility. How do I get to?
Well, you have to sign into, I think it's GED.com, because you're doing everything online. You have to set up an account. Okay, I'll send you the instructions for how to do it, because it's different from the way it was before, because now you
Okay.
have a choice. You could elect to do it online, or you can show up in person and do it. So you have a choice. You don't have to go
Do
to
it
a
online
place to do it.
or
You can do it online.
at home?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, they
excuse
have
me.
monitors yes, they have monitors who will monitor you while you do it online. So that's your
Okay.
choice. So you elect how you want to take it.
Yeah.
They give you the places where it's offered. And I think they all are offered probably computerized. Probably very little paper anymore. Okay. But I think you understand computers enough to select the choices and then look at a calculator online,
Yes.
look at the formulas, that they give you.
Okay.
And now, did I ever send you the formula list? Because it's different from the one before.
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
so I'll have to send you the formula list. Okay. Formula list. Because it changed, okay?
Okay.
It changed from what it was. All right, so I'll send you the instructions of how, because you have to start by registering on the GED.com. And then I think they give you a practice test. And then you can, from that practice test, they determine if you're ready to take the next test. All right. And
Okay.
then they also have some practice tests you can do on your own, but I think they give you one and from that, based on how you do on that, they schedule you for the real test. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Any questions on anything else?
No, thank you, Miss.
Oh,
Questions?
no.
Okay, so long, everybody.
Okay, have a good weekend.
Okay.
All right.
Have a
Hi,
wonderful
Mercy.
weekend.